Well, hello, good neighbors. It is I, the Bad Wolf, here to tell you how you can be tax exempt. All right, so I talk about all this on my YouTube channel, which you can find me there under James C Lovett or the Bad Wolf, @ the Bad Wolf. All right, let's get going. So, did you know that they don't want you to know that you and your private here? Hold on, let me make my green hair thing. All right, just kidding. It's my fern, doing pretty good. Plantville. So in order to be tax exempt, you first have to understand that you and the private are a Native American. You are native to America. So you are a Native American. You're not a black, you're not a white. And when they ask you on your employment or whatever else, what's your nationality, you should be putting Floridian, California, Wisconsinite, Texan, New Yorker, because that's who you are. Now, if you want to be tax exempt at your employment office, what you want to do is go to the HR and tell them you want to update your file. Once you update your file, you're going to use the W8BEN file. They may or may not have that, so bring it in. On the bottom of that W8BEN file, you're going to fill out, they're going to say, what country do you have a treaty with that we shouldn't tax you? You're going to put in there America. You're going to also then underneath that put in 0 removed from your check. And then underneath it, you're going to put Constitution for the United States of America and private citizen. That's it. Now, let's say they don't accept that document because HR departments aren't used to this. You're supposed to tell them, you cannot deny me of my rights, so please contact the IRS in regards to this particular form. If they still want to play games, you can always file a lawsuit in federal court or contact your equal opportunity employment office. Have them refer this matter to the legal department for a legal determination. But let's say you still want to play the game. All right, the next file you can utilize is the W4, letter V, W4V. For some of you guys, the other form would be an 8233, or for some people, the 1040NR. At the end of the day, your last couple of options would then be to utilize your W4. So update your W4 form, and on the tax line, instead of putting a number in there, you're going to put exempt. That brings you back to being a Native American, which is what you are, by your birthright, being born in the Republic, the private side of your state. And then you're also, for another option, you can create a tax-exempt legal entity by going directly to irs.gov and creating a tax-exempt entity like a 508c1a, which means you're faith-based, or an unincorporated association. Once you create the entity as a tax-exempt entity, if you need further and in-depth information, you can either see me for a consultation on blacksite32 or blacksite32.com numbers. So 32 is a number. So blacksite, BLACKSITE32.com. And or YouTube and check out more interesting information they don't want you to know. So once you've created this legal entity, you can then go back to your HR department and tell them you want to be now paid directly to your trust, meaning your name and your social will be removed as far as the payee. Your trust name or your FBO 508c1a will be installed with its tax-exempt status and EIN, and you are now tax-exempt. Now, most people have said that once you do this, you are tax-exempt on the federal and state level. So make sure that you do your own due diligence. This is not legal advice. This is just education and entertainment purposes from the thousands of other people out there I've helped with this information, done for them, etc., etc. Okay? That is how you do it. That's it. That is it. Now, I usually just tell people, if you're worried about the state, then just pay the state. But ultimately, each state has its own non-resident, because when you're operating in the private, you're telling them, I don't want to be classified as a taxable person or individual. I'm operating privately, tax exempt under the Constitution as a national, born and native to this land. So you fill out the NR form for your particular state. That's it. For more unique informational pieces like that, check me out on blacksite32.com. Well, you guys know about TikTok. So as always, if you add me on here, I'll add you back. Otherwise, check me out on YouTube, @ the Bad Wolf or James C Lovett. Talk to you guys later.